Hi, everybody. This is Andrea Paquette, president and co-founder of the Stigma-Free Society. We are having a very special interview with two amazing people today, and I am so happy to introduce them. These two individuals are outstanding community members, and they are a part of Autism British Columbia, Autism BC. So first we have Julia Boyle, who is the executive director for Autism BC. Hello, Julia.
Hi, Andrea. Thanks for having me.
And no, of course, this is like second time we've done an interview. The other time was with your organization, so it's great to have you on Stigma-Free. And Lucas Gates, you're actually in our video on the Stigma-Free Toolkit, and you are also an ambassador for Autism BC. And I was curious, what was your other title?
Oh, I have so many titles. It's absolutely insane. And this is not just from Autism BC. There's a lot of other organizations I've worked with. And for many of your followers who do not know, I also work with the Pacific Autism Family Network as a representative and ambassador as well, in addition to conduct sports and entertainment as a retail sales associate, in which I am, of course, wearing my, I'm wearing our shirts right now for this year's playoffs.
What did you were telling me earlier? Something about today's an important day for the Canucks or something?
Game four. Game 4. Game 4. We got to win this. We got to go up 3-1 and put the Blues on the brink.
Awesome. I love it. Thanks, Lucas. So
No
Julia, I was just wondering, Julia, could you just first give us a little overview of Autism BC, what the organization does, and how you're a part of it?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I've been with Autism BC for about 2 years now, and my role really is to help my team be as successful as they can in supporting the autism community. We're a charity nonprofit. We've been around since 1975, when the word autism was really new to the province. And over the last 45 years, we've grown. We're still a small and mighty team, but we support the autism community across the province by empowering them with information, also providing workshops and social clubs and means to connect and really just get to know each other and share our stories and our journey together.
That's amazing. And you've been doing some really good work. We've been in contact a lot with partnership and doing things together, and how you're bringing the stigma-free zone designation to Autism BC. And you've done a lot of work, you and your community and staff in that area. So very grateful for that. Okay, Lucas, I know you have many roles, but I was wondering, how are you connected to Autism BC? What's your title with that? What do you do? And does that create some passion for you?
Oh, thank you for asking, Andrea. I'm actually, for this year, this is mainly for the summer, but I'm actually a social media ambassador. So I'm helping promote and share information about this year's BC Autism Awards. So because of course, with what's going on in the world right now, fortunately, we would have had a physical presence at the Pacific Autism Family Network this year. But of course, with the ongoing situation around the world, everyone will probably know what I'm talking about. We decided the best case scenario is to move it digitally. And we just want to get the word out about the raffle, the awards nomination period, which I believe will be closing in about a week or so. So make sure to get those nominations in. It's really incredible because, as you probably, for many of you who probably don't know, I myself was an award recipient for the Self-Advocate of the Year 2019.
Nice. And what does that mean?
So what it means is that so I was nominated to being a Self-Advocate of the Year for my contributions to our community, for all what I'm doing, from my advocacy to my program, to the programs I've created, and a lot of other things, because again, this is just from a community standpoint. Again, even though there were people who were also shortlisted, there were also winners in their own right too. I consider it an honor to be being the winner of the award, but I don't consider it. I consider it an honor, but all the shortlisted finalists were all winners in a nutshell. So we're all in a good group there.
Yeah, doing amazing things for the community. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and I'm a judge actually this year for the awards, which I'm very stoked about. And I actually want to just remind everybody, Julia, please tell us about the deadlines, the raffle, like give us the lowdown. How do people contribute to what's going on right now with Autism BC?
For sure. So the BC Autism Awards are really a way to celebrate the everyday autism heroes in our community. So, for example, for a new parent, when they Google autism, often a lot of negative content shows up on their search engine. It's, talking about symptoms, it's talking about deficits. And really, it's filling parents' heads with just all of this negative thought and negative talk around autism. But the BC Autism Awards are a way for us to really celebrate and shine a light on all of the incredible things that are going on in the autism community and all of the incredible work that the autism community does. And it's really about promoting inclusion and trying to change the narrative on autism and on inclusion. So what I love about it is it's all about stories. One of the stories that really sticks out to me is Dennis Nerpiro from the SUPA Society, who started a surf camp with special instruction for kids with autism, or kids on the autism spectrum, I should say. And he won our Volunteer of the Year award last year. And they run the SUPA Society completely run by volunteers. So I really was super proud of that story that came out from the awards last year, as well as Lucas's story. Because I know that it runs in his family to be winners of the BC Autism Award. So, in a nutshell, it's a really great way for us to share some positive stories right now, share some good news, and definitely, if that's what you're looking for, the BC Autism Awards is the ticket. So you can find out more by going to www.autismbc.com/awards. All the information you need to know about the awards is there as to how to submit a nomination and also how to find out about our raffle. And the nominations close on October. Nope, they don't close in October. The nominations close on August 28th, which I believe is next Friday. So you have about 10 or 12 days left to get your nominations in. And it's really such an amazing way to honor someone. So many of the people in the autism community are very humble. So, they might not want to toot their own horn, but I know how meaningful it is to those people that are nominated to be recognized in that way. And it's a really beautiful, free way to honor someone that's had a good impact in your life or in your community.
I'm sorry to interject as well, Julia and Andrea, but also apparently, if I'm not mistaken, there also is a major grand prize as well. You can go home with a new, I believe it is new SUV, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
oh my gosh! I gotta buy raffle tickets. That's it.
It's a beautiful car. It's a beautiful, beautiful car. If you haven't seen it yet, go on the website. You will be blown away what cars we're giving away this year.
I actually did see it and I forgot about it, so thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, it's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty.
So the cash prize, I just want to clarify, Lucas, that for our Autism Awards, each winner gets a $1,000 cash prize. So this is something we're doing that's new this year. We didn't have this cash prize last year, so I'm sorry about that, Lucas. But this $1,000 can go towards good work that person who is the winner is doing in the community to help promote and continue on in their work. And then the raffle, you can get raffle tickets to help fund Autism BC and fund these incredible initiatives on the same website, www.autismbc.ca/awards. You can buy a raffle ticket and win a new car. Our amazing sponsor, Applewood Auto Group, donated a Nissan Kicks SB for us to raffle off this year, and we're selling tickets for $20. So if you feel like being a winner, you can buy a ticket. And if you feel like honoring someone in the community, you can nominate an everyday autism hero.
Absolutely amazing. And Stigma-Free Society has been sharing very often the links, the information to the awards and the raffle. So you can also look on our social medias. You'll see it plastered everywhere. So we're very supportive of your initiatives, and thanks for what you do. I'm going to get to Lucas in a second, but one more question for Julia before I move on to our superstar Lucas here. I was wondering, Julia, what's the most rewarding part of your job as executive director of this wonderful organization?
Whew, that's a tough one. I think really the thing that I love the most about my job is connecting with the community. I love community building. I love team building. But really, every week I get a chance to talk to someone new in the community and to listen to what's important to them. And I feel like I'm this funnel of all of these stories and all of this information, and it kind of comes down into making some decisions for the organization and ways that we can support the community. So what I really love is listening and hearing what's going on, because it's very inspiring. It really inspires me in my work life. It inspires me in my personal life as well, because I just honestly think the autism community is incredible. So I feel really rewarded by just being uplifted by all of the good news that I'm hearing about the things that are going on.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Julia. I'm going to move over to Lucas quite a bit here. Lucas, Julia mentioned that the awards were in your family. What's that about?
Good thing you brought that up. So anyway, for those who don't know, my mom was the award recipient of the 2017. Wait, was it? Sorry, I'm little. It goes back a while, but anyway, she was a recipient of the award in 2017. No, wait, well, I forget the first year, but she was the winner of the Volunteer of the Year award. I know she's probably watching this in another room, I believe, because I know she's being very excited to watch this. But I want to say to her, thank you for giving you. Wow. That I wouldn't be where I am today. She admits that she always tells me, you've done it all yourself, but I wouldn't have that leg up without her. That's how I see it, and I totally wouldn't be here without that support, because she not only helped me, she helped so many other families out there with the soccer dogs, which obviously I know Stigma and Autism BC are very, very well know about. We've also created a gala for people with all sorts of diverse needs. Every June, well, not this year, obvious reasons. There's just so many off the book that I'd rather I would go down the barrel. Like, that's just how many there are. So yeah.
Awesome. And as well, I was just wondering, can you just share with us your personal connection to autism spectrum disorder?
Good. Thank you for asking that, Andrea. I myself am an autistic person myself. So I myself have been diagnosed with Asperger's, which I kind of don't really like to use, but everyone to teach their own. I've been diagnosed around the age of 6 or 7, which is by today's standards is pretty late. But back then, this was like the late 90s, so this was a much different time than it is now. I've of course have the journey to go with autism and its peril, with its ups and downs, because no life is unique. That's how I say it. And of course, no life is normal. Like, even if you hear the new normal, we don't even think about normal, because everyone is unique. So I don't consider, so that's why every life is unique, and I know what life was like, because it's building all up to this. And one thing I am serious about, and this is a big step for me in my life, is planning to hit the road and move out. That's one thing that I'm really anticipating is going to be happening in the next, I would say within the next 12, 24 months. Again, I'm more or less just waiting around, because I have been doing a lot of my personal research, but I know for a lot of people, it is a very perilous journey through life. So this is, for me personally on the spectrum, I just want to thank the community again. You guys are absolutely amazing. This is a journey I wouldn't have ever expected. And and for people who follow me on social media, nevertheless, they always like to just interact, talk, and I don't just talk about autism. I don't talk about just about it, because it's only a little part of my life. I talk about gaming, sports, obvious reasons why, because I just so happen to be with these guys. But yeah, generally it's just the works, because I'm just a regular person, regular 27-and-a-half-year-old who's just enjoying life. I might have autism, but that isn't exactly fully who I am.
And what is normal anyway, right? I always think of that.
You know what, Andrea, that is I also been wondering about that too, because obviously you hear a lot of the new normal, they've been sort of passing it around. What is normal? What is normal? Because nothing is ever normal. That's the thing though, is because everyone says, you got to also factor in, there's a lot of things you have to think about, I just call it the usual. It's like a return to the usual way of life. I don't ever use that normal word anymore. It just doesn't quite click like for most people. I understand the reason being, but more or less, time goes on, we evolve and we learn and we adopt new kind of ways of thinking about it. So take that one for a huge grain of salt, because I know a lot of people kind of are still getting used to that fact, but eventually with this new decade coming, there's going to be a lot of exciting futures ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I really love your positive attitude during this pandemic. And I feel like I just want to also delve into more of your story, because at the Stigma-Free Society, we're very passionate about sharing personal stories. And we actually spent time with you, and quite a bit of time, a couple hours, I think, and videotape. Project AM was there for a while. And we have your current awesome video, which is now in our video library for the stigmafreetoolkit.com. And I was curious, why do you feel it's important to share your story, Lucas? What is it in your heart? Like, what's the point?
Because there's still a lot of stigma with the term autism, because they think it's kind of a pushback. Because I myself am working on a new project right now. This is separate from every other thing I'm working on. People, you might have already seen it already going up. I call it Neurovaliant Gaming, but I don't bring that up completely. But the only reason why is there's still a huge amount of stigma left in the so-called neurotypical crowd. And that kind of scares me a little bit, because even though we are getting extremely more progressive as time goes on, we still have that small minority who still just doesn't get it. And to be honest, people think autism like, that Rain Man movie, which, to be honest, apparently I was doing even more research. The guy didn't even have autism. It was when he was diagnosed after he passed, that it wasn't even autism. So that was just a lot of different kind of ways of thinking, because this is the early 90s. This was even before I was born, compared to today. So times have really changed.
Yeah, and it's very interesting that people would be referring back to that 20, 30 years ago or whatever it is now. My goodness, right? And I think it's important for people like you, and congrats for doing this, because if you're coming forward with your stories like you are, you're going to inspire other people to come forward. And with that comes education, right?
Absolutely, 100%. To be honest, Andrea, if I'm from what I'm doing right now with my advocacy, with my working at an autism center, heck, even working at a sports arena when we have typically about 18,000 fans. Like, come on, like, it's so, if you can think that I can do it, so can you. I was talking when I've known some people, again, these are just some distant connections, but anyway, I actually have met the Pete family. You probably have heard of those, the Pete family, RJ, Holly.
No, tell me about it.
Oh yeah, I'll bring this up. So anyway, they came to our center about a while ago. This is actually on the show. This is actually on their show about a couple of years ago. Actually, I was on it.
Cool.
So anyway, I also want to bring up the fact that RJ, who's on the spectrum, actually works for the Los Angeles Dodgers. At Dodger Stadium as their water boy. So to be honest, if I can work at a sports facility with 18,000 fans, and RJ can work at a freaking baseball stadium, easily 53,000 fans when they can get them in. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
Yeah, I love it. No, it's true. I think if we have support and dedication, and what does it take though, Lucas? Like when you were growing up, we talked before, and you said, I used to go up in smokes, you said. And you said things would go up in smokes. You said that in the videos. Like, can you explain what that means, and how now is it different?
Again, thank you, Andrea, for bringing that up. So anyway, I used to make the analogy that I used to, when I used to get so kerfuffled, that's just my way of saying sensory overload. pardon me. So basically what happened is I would go off like a volcano. I usually use the reference, the Krakatoa super volcano as a reference because that was a massive volcano eruption. Yeah. But I use that as sort of a reference for like controllable rage that just went off in smokes. Like it was just, it was terrible, you know, because it took me hours to come down. Like I used to have to walk. And to be honest, the thing though is now looking back on it, I remember absolutely nothing about those outbursts. Like I still can't even recall any of those outbursts. Like it's just complete like brain fog. Boom. Like all that, it just something else triggered. Yeah. Today though, if I do get, it is pretty interesting. And then today, if I do get a little bit, like something goes like, whoa, I just usually walk away. I just go, just shake it off. You know, it's, I'm used to shrinking things off. It's not that hard.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and so you have strategies, right, that you implement to manage your life, and it seems like it's going really well.
Yeah, it is. Of course, we still have our rotten days, but who doesn't? Yeah. You know what? No one's perfect. You can't have all sunshine and roses every day. You obviously have your downers, but that's just life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel you too, having bipolar disorder. A lot of people forget that. And I'm like, well, some days, you know, I really feel it really badly. And then on other days, I feel balanced and very stable and strong. So I think for, you know, people generally, yeah, we all have our ups and downs. It's just what those look like are very different, right?
Correct.
Okay. So Julia, I was wondering if you could talk to me a little bit about what's the importance of autism in today's evolving society. What do you feel is that the role of autism? What could that mean in society going forward?
What could autism mean in society going forward? I mean, really at Autism BC, we're just always, you know, advocating for inclusion. And what does that mean? It means, like, as Lucas said, there's no normal. So it's just a full inclusion of the entire autism community and seen as, you know, I think often the talk around autism is about it as a diagnosis and a medical condition. And what I really like focusing on is just the human side of autism and really humanizing autism. And I think through that process, people can start to relate to a lot of the experiences that autistic people have, like sensory overload. It's not only autistic people that have sensory overload. Other people can also experience that as well, or having a meltdown. I mean, I've had my meltdowns as an adult. You know, maybe they're different from autistic people. Maybe they're exactly the same. I don't know. But I'm just saying that I think, you know, we need to get out of thinking about non-autistic versus autistic and just start seeing ourselves as all kind of part of the same human paradigm. One of the ways that we really like focusing on, you know, the future of autism is about inclusive employment. And that's one of the things I really love about the BC Autism Awards is we have the Inclusive Employer of the Year Award. Last year, the winner was Meridian Meats, Meridian Farm Market. And they employ a group of people on the autism spectrum and have designed their whole management and HR policies and practices around using the skills of autistic people, using the skills of individuals on the autism spectrum, because they have really valuable skills. Many of them are super eager to work and very passionate people like Lucas with great customer service skills, which is awesome to have in a grocery store. So that's something that I really love focusing on for the future in autism is how can we as a society ensure that the people on the autism spectrum aren't overrepresented in underemployment or unemployment. So that's, I don't know if that really answers your question. No, it really does. Something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I really feel an echo of the whole Stigma-Free Zone designation program, that awareness, understanding the acceptance of ourselves and other people. And that's exactly what I'm hearing. And thanks for that answer. It was really great. So yes, you definitely answered it. Okay, so I was just wondering, Lucas, what are your plans for the future?
Like I said before, I'm planning to move out in the very near future. I'm still planning to figure out what my rent situation is going to be like. If I'm going to move in with roomies and stuff. I already have kind of the plans already kind of set in motion. I've already been kind of tossing this around with a couple of my friends and figure what's going to happen. But I mean, to be long-term success right now is for me to potentially move out and be independent, because I myself, I'm rarely, before COVID hit, I was rarely home. So I always was out doing my own thing, either working, for either working, leisure, or just being myself. Because as someone who was in school, I never really was fortunate enough to have that kind of freedom. Because, with school, you kind of have that kind of fear of having someone looking over you, kind of like a teacher assistant I had. I won't reveal his name, but he's not the best. But yeah, I've had that more of that freedom today as someone who looks back at high school 10 years later, because I graduated in 2010. Great year, by the way. But I mean, yeah, it's become a lot easier for me to start figuring out what the next steps is. Okay, I gotta check all these things off. How do I plan myself accordingly and all that stuff?
Yeah, and it's interesting being in this pandemic. It kind of slows a lot of plans down. I know a lot of people have been feeling that, and we know and hope you'll continue your amazing advocacy efforts in so many different areas. And you also you're an ambassador for the Pacific Autism Family Network. Is that right?
That is correct. I've been with the Pacific Autism Family Network for almost 4 years now. Holy smokes. Yeah, well, yeah, that's actually funny, because I was there actually the day the building opened. It was a really big event. We had then Premier Christy Clark there. I actually got to shake her hand. Very nice lady. Appreciate the provincial government support. It was just a wild day. I've been there since like December 2016. Holy moly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, the future is looking bright. I've already had my own website already on order. Like, I've got speaking engagement forms. If you want to research, look at my Insta if you're looking to have someone back speaking at your place, like your school, organization, or anything. I have a website, www.lucasgates.ca. That's all one word, thankfully. I'm planning to also start. Yeah, I'm just telling your viewers also that I'm also planning to start a inclusive esports club, because of course that thing is like skyrocketing right now. I'm working with some folks. I have some people on who might be interested in working with me on this. Again, I'm not going to spill the beans on any of this stuff, because it's still pretty. It would be too premature to announce it at this time. But we are working on it. So if you ever want me back, Andrea, to discuss this at a later time, I'd be glad to talk to you about that. But
obviously,
right now,
yeah.
Definitely. But for right now, we're still working on that. It's taking a little bit of time. Just patience, folks. It's coming, and it's going to be great.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to close up, but I just wanted to have thank you, Julia. And I was just wondering, Lucas, could you please share some words of inspiration, maybe a few sentences of the message you'd like to get out there to people who are struggling or feeling that, it's hard for them to get up and to live life, and maybe they are on the spectrum, maybe they're just struggling, and you've been there. So what would you say to those people?
Two words, maybe three. Don't give up. That's pretty much, there's so much of you're here for a reason. Even though you might be different different, we all are. No one is, you always hear the term normal. Scratch that word off the books, because that word was from an era bygone. It never was, the word was just poor in hindsight. The kind of mentality back then is not the same as it is today. I know a lot of people who were in that era who are learning the mistakes, and we have the ability to make a major difference today, because I myself am already seeing kids who are being born in the next generation who are going to be, we can lead the next generation on the generation after that, and so on and so on and so on. Again, like I said on your videos, I don't call this another civil rights movement, but definitely things are changing for the better.
Awesome. And before we go, thank you, Lucas. And Julia, once again, can you recap for people the raffle, the awards, please, just one more time, and then we will close off.
Yes, August 28th. You need to get your nominations in for the BC Autism Awards by August 28th. And we're also drawing our early bird prize, which is the GoPro package. So buy your tickets for our raffle, and you could win a GoPro package on August 28th, or you could win a brand new Nissan Kicks SB. We're pulling for that in October. So go to www.autismbc.ca/awards to learn more. And thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Julia and Lucas. This is Andrea Paquette from the Stigma-Free Society. We are just really happy you joined us, and you can watch this broadcast on the Stigma-Free Society page at any time. Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.